Design is ubiquitous in nature, making it an inextricable element in the development of society. However, there is continuous discrepancy amongst designers as the dynamic role is ever-changing and expanding. According to visual arts professor Nigel Whiteley, designers must be introspective, considering the cultural, social, political, and economic complexions of society, so as to encourage holistic design. However, this is yet to be considered core to professional design practice. Subsequently, the absence of social and spatial diversity concerning the marginalised is sanctioned. Thus, in modern architecture, those who do not constitute the average human are excluded from design cogitation, prompting the question, should diversity be at the forefront of interior design practice? But what constitutes the average human? We've been told for years that there is a standard we're all designing for. So who is the standard person? I would love to know how many of you listeners fit into this scope of the average person. Unfortunately, if you wear glasses, this is not you. If you are a woman, this is not you. If you are under 170 centimeters tall, if you're under 25, if you're not Caucasian, I'm sorry, but this is not you. So you see, how can we design for people when we are designing for the ideal person who does not seem to exist? Designing for diversity is not simply a charity effort. Rather, it is the belief that all human beings are entitled to basic rights, to be treated with dignity, and to have a sense of identity. The premise of these needs and rights can be found in psychological theory, Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The theory stipulates that a person cannot progress up the hierarchy until the lower level basic rights have been met. When architecture fails to address tiers beyond physiological needs, that is, shelter, a palpable component of design is missing. Spatial and social equity is missing, and yet interior design remains to be understood as simply providing the most basic provision of architecture. The problem with design environments today is the notion of categorization defined by social norms. Rather than designing for categories of people, we should be simply designing for people. One of the most common biases in social norms and spatial practice is the notion of the disabled. The term disability refers to a person's limits regarding movements, senses, or activities. However, a person is not limited to the everyday assumption about what constitutes their ability, and the built environment should facilitate this notion. The challenge for designers is moving away from designing in their own image. Influenced by their own understandings and experiences of ability, designers are marginalizing and negating the experience of others in spaces. Thus, the challenge for the modern designer is to question and react to this taboo of disability in architecture. It is the role of designers to consider the world not how it is, but how it should be. This challenges modern designers to continually develop their design methodology to eliminate the idea of the marginalized and consider inclusive design an intuitive, embedded expectation of design. It is incumbent on contemporary designers to displace the stereotype of the average person, to design for humankind, not just a kind of human.